Have you noticed that there is a growing interest and enthusiasm for roasted vegetables? Now, why has that happened? I didn't grow up with it, I can tell you for sure. Why has that happened? Well, I believe that we have come to a place of having a little better developed palate, and we are interested in our vegetables in particular having a lot of flavor, especially with so much emphasis on health, getting more fresh food into our diet, getting more fruits and vegetables into our diet, even if they're cooked. But we want them to be wonderful, we want them to be enjoyable, and roasting can really help do that. Two things come to play. One is the moisture that is in, as the vegetables cook at a high heat, as they roast in a high heat, some of the moisture is released, and it causes the vegetable to become very condensed, if you will, for a lack of a better term, very condensed, and so the flavor condenses. So you have a much more intense flavor in a green bean, in a bell pepper, in an eggplant or zucchini, or any of the vegetables. You're going to have a much more intense flavor. Now, for the ones that have a little bit of sugar in them, the high heat is going to actually cause that sugar to begin to caramelize, and so your vegetables will even be a bit sweeter. Now, this is from one of these guys, a butternut squash, that we sliced, we peeled, we cleaned the seeds out, put it into a pan in the oven, and let it roast with a little bit of orange juice, maple syrup, sprinkle of salt, a little bit of cinnamon, and isn't that gorgeous? You can see definitely there's been some caramelizing here. The flavors are wonderful, complement the vegetable. Now, this you can be proud of. I mean, this is like company food. and if you don't have any company, hey, eat it anyway. It's great eating. So many vegetables can be roasted at high heats. One of the keys in doing it, well, in my book, two things are important. One is that you toss your vegetables, whether it's carrots or whatever they are, potato pieces, squash, eggplant, that you toss those pieces in a little bit of oil first before you put them in the pan, so that they are totally encapsulated in oil. Doesn't mean you have to soak them, you just want a light coating of oil. The oil helps to seal the juices in. Now, the juices will begin to evaporate, but at least they're not going to be running all over the pan. They will evaporate inside that little piece of vegetable, so you get the intense flavor. You get it? Okay, very important. Use the oil first. The other thing is, don't be afraid to experiment with seasonings. Garlic can be added at some point in your roasting process. Wonderful stuff. You can use curry powders and chili powder and cumin powder and cinnamon and all kinds of just wonderful kinds of combinations of things. We will, when we post our recipes for roasting, we will put up some suggestions on different kinds of mixes that you can use to season your vegetables. My brother and sister-in-law were visiting last week, and I was roasting what was then like the last pan of zucchini from the garden. Oh dear. And he had been eating quite a bit of squash in the weeks before that, and some of it I cooked for him. So this particular pan comes out of the oven, and he takes a whiff, and he goes, "Whoa, what did you season that with?" And I said, "Oh, here, it's just a little package of seasoning that we picked up at Expo West, the Natural Products show down in LA last year. And we decided to use it. Well, it was wonderful. So don't be afraid to experiment. Make your own or buy some. Rubs, mixes, that kind of thing. Don't be afraid to experiment. And your family's going to love it, let me tell you. And in the long run, you know what, it even saves time. Besides being delicious, it will save you time. You've got all these vegetables cooking in the oven while you're getting the rest of dinner ready, or if it's already ready, you can sit and visit, or even be online and watch a few more of our videos. How about that?